more serious compared to L5, and they're also having fun at the same time, but we saw some crazy mechanical plays from Meride. Just perfect cleanse. It almost seemed like there was no CC connection at all.
Yeah, good cleanses, really good Twilight Dreams as well. He just walked out of the range of the mosh pit before it even happened. He saw before the power slide, which led to the mosh play. He's like, I can see the future. I can see 2 steps ahead.
It's crazy.
It's a perfect Twilight Dream. So Sky Temple will be the map pick, as mentioned. It's Black's pick.
They're looking to snowball this battleground and finished off the series, of course, with a 3-0, as they saw a very quick series with L5 in the beginning of the day. And Arthas just tissed on Arthas every single time. He can finish his Q quest, stack up to 20 in before 10. I think that's even very likely. And Tist has been one of the highlights of the team, as we have not mentioned about him too much in the beginning part, but right now he's stepped up into Miracle Perfect land.
Tassadar first pick for BlossoM. We'll see if Black ends up going into Vala Zarya. It's not really their style, but we don't really get to see this type of play from Black. Anyways, generally, it's never allowed, and Black is always second pick. Not always, but with their record, they have much more second pick play than first pick play, because that's how the map choice works.
Maybe we'll see reset on Li Ming and Lunara, then Vala possibly coming out after.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind the Vala Ariel here either. And then you're like, oh, what are you going to pair with Tassadar? And ban the Zarya. It's like, okay, that's fine. So I don't think Black is going to do it. But they've shown their proclivity to do it in the past. They may just Malfurion Muradin here, because that's the safe thing to do. And Black just doesn't take chances. Black does not draft into a corner. They do not put themselves in a position where they could be outdrafted. It will even give a superior early draft to have the better answer to that strong early draft in the second part of their draft.
Yeah,
so
they are confident to counter the picks coming out from BlossoM with just Tassadar. We don't exactly know what they're going to pick, so let's just have the safe Malfurion with Muradin, and then let's see what they come up, and then let's try to counter, because we have so many strategies and experiences on this map. That's what makes MVP Black so powerful in the draft especially.
Malfurion's win rate's actually kind of risen a little bit. 77 to 62. I know it's crazy. Like, was that all time? Was that lifetime OG? I'm like, no, that's just HGC Korea. He's been picked so much.
Yes.
Worldwide, he's just considered the best support right now all around, and he will be picked again by Black. So they're going to commit to Zarya and Lucio. So this could go horribly wrong, or it could be incredibly strong. I mean,
this feels like a Tazingo for me.
It could definitely be. Well, the obvious Vala ban, I think they have to go down that path, right? Mm-hmm. This could do really well, or like I said, it could go horribly wrong. If Lucio is cut off, or if Zul'jin gets caught and he's killed, you just no damage. Your whole comp falls like a house of cards.
Even banning a very strong solo Shriner Sonya.
Yeah, looking to target the solo lane, it looks like, with this. It's going to be Dahaka, it looks like. I actually like that way better than the Sonya.
Because Ballstead is already gone and knocking down the global. They have to sustain, I think.
The reason why Zarya has a horrible win rate, by the way, is not because she's a bad hero. It's because she's just so counter-drafted. If you really try to force the issue with the Zarya, it doesn't work most of the time. Just ask MVP Miracle. But they lock out the Varian pick here. Not really the pick I think Black would even consider right now, because Tist will play the solo variant, but you will never have a Kyocha variant. You will never have the Muradin variant, so this ban doesn't even make sense to me remotely. Think about the CC chains that could happen with variant and perhaps a Ragnaros that comes in. That would be super unusual to have the 3 melees like that, but it could happen. But you look at it, you're like, could, maybe, if, possibly. It's just not how Black plays, so perhaps against another team, another playstyle, this would make sense, but against MVP Black, I find this variant ban to be totally worthless. And yes, I understand they're not going to have the cleanse for the CCs too, but that's just not. I feel like it's a non-issue, all things considered.
Yeah, BlossoM just could have thought the taunt was a big threat to one carry they're gonna have picked later on, so just really banned out the taunt of Variant.
So Hammer and Li Ming. This means it's definitely going to be Orbital BFG.
Illidan all in with Avatar.
Okay, well, we have seen comps like this before. Immediately they're locking at Dahaka because he wasn't banned earlier. We've seen comps like this before with no quote-unquote ranged dedicated hero, with no ranged assassin. They usually fall flat on their face. There's a lot of protection, though, and a lot of sustain. There's slow sustain to deal with Sergeant Hammer's slow sustain damage. There's shields and symbiotes to deal with the burst damage they're leaving. This comp could theoretically work, but they need to snowball this game hard. If they lose control for 1 second, Dahaka's split push soaking and the ranged firepower of MVP Black, the skilling, they're giving level 10s first, getting the first few temples will absolutely destroy them. So, BlossoM is all in on the Illidan. They better make it work, or they're going to lose this series 0-3 as they go into Sky Temple. In blue, Team BlossoM. Scarlet on Lucio, Dudu on Tastar, Wiz on Illidan, Judy on Zarya, and No Chat on Abathur.
In red, MVP Black. Saki on Sergeant Hammer, Reset on Li Ming, Test on Muradin, Kyocha on Dahaka, Meride on Malfurion.
This is the kind of Wiz drafting that I've been waiting for. This is the kind of idea, this concept that we've been talking about that, you know, if you haven't watched some of the first Wiz games this season, you might be like, I don't even know why they're describing this. Oh, this is not the way to do it, though. Scarlet needing that symbiote right away. But this is the kind of draft, this is the kind of unique strategy that Wiz has pulled out time and time again in the past. We're finally going to see it happen here as they look to push hard here in the 4-man. Abathur's going to get some extra soak. You know, they don't have a global in terms of split pushing directly, but they do have the Abathur, which can give some extra soaking, so it's not fair to say that the global power of Dahaka will crush them, but Dahaka will be the better hero at pushing and threatening the lane that Abathur is in specifically a lot of the time. And actually, you can see even a few minions miss there in the top lane. They're super all-in with this, as you mentioned. You summed it up perfectly. And they really have to make this early game work.
It's an all-in green main comp, as everyone can see it. What Koreans call it Prince Illidan team comp. As I was thinking No Chat would be on Zarya instead, but it is Judy, as Judy is the warrior for the team.
No Chat kind of forced out of his comfort zone here.
And No Chat with ETC and Abathur. This is his 15th hero now. I believe he has the most heroes played.
Yep, if he plays one more hero, we'll just have to get a new. We'll have to have 2 pages of paper for all heroes he has to play to go off the chart. I'm not even kidding. Look at that, like 1 spot left.
That is true.
So this is going to be an even trade on the shrines, but Black has all that extra soak from Dahaka that gives him a slight EXP lead. And again, I feel like this needs to be a game that BlossoM snowballs. If they just sit back and take even shrines, even EXP, that means they're actually behind. The scoreboard doesn't say so, but it's true. Abathur could scale well into the late game, but we're not. This game will end in the mid game if this continues where we're on even footing, because Black will actually start to snowball it in the mid game and close it out before Abathur really gets his late game scaling. The Metamorphosis is going to be very powerful later on. And that's something that is a big power spike for BlossoM as well. They would like to hit it very quickly. And you can see these exchanges for Wiz on micro terms. He could take these incredible fights. He can look really strong. But the longer the game goes on, when bigger tools are given to Black, it gets a lot tougher.
Of course, Wiz known for his melee hero plays since the beginning of Heroes.
Especially Thrall, but Illidan, I'm excited to see it happen.
But putting that Zarya, because they have to distribute their heroes to all lanes to soak up EXP, really to not fall behind. Having solo lane Zarya just means one of her shield is just locked with herself. She doesn't have anyone else to shield. Also to build up her energy herself. it's going to be quite troublesome with how many lanes the Avatar can actually soak the EXP from.
It's interesting to me that they're going even further all on this. They're not going into a grenade build for Zarya because that could be some supplementary range damage, which I've seen a lot of the time with comps like this, like Mene playing the Zarya we've seen in the past. It's a way you can make it so that you can chase down targets, get that extra burst damage at the end to finish them off. Just building into the auto attacks instead. It's going to have so much with the symbiote on Zarya. You can see how quickly she just took down that Merc camp, for example. Look at Wiz when he goes in like this and everyone just kind of fans out and uses the range damage to suppress him. He has a big problem in an extended engagement. The top fort is super low, and it looks like actually Abathur may ignore the camp very briefly to take it down. To Hawkeye, I should say, in the top lane up there. So Judy is at super high energy, so even without the full grenade build, he's doing a lot. So he's just going to rotate down here to threaten No Chat in the mid lane. Just keeping all these lanes super pushed. So while BlossoM has this hyper-aggressive 4-man push in the bot that may actually start to threaten the fort, the pushes on the top and mid are just more significant overall.
Yep, they're soaking a lot more EXP indeed, and having the Haka on top, BlossoM really can't, Avatar can't really soak both lanes at the same time for too long.
Yeah, even Tist rotates to mid to put some more pressure on the mid fort. This is not working out for BlossoM. Up by a long shot. Already a kill here onto Lucio. That means reset. Will get his first critical mass reset. And Kyocha gets the grab. This is disastrous. This cannot be happening. I mean, the drag isn't even the big problem for BlossoM here, but if they get consistently dragged, you could bet this game may be over before it even starts. If he could hit Wiz and drag him out of the fights, he cannot allow that to happen. As Black gets 2 kills, gets the pick onto Judy as well, and now they're pushing level 10.
Yeah, the drag should be the skill that Illidan has to be careful at hitting that right drag at the same time. And also, Q build coming out from Li Ming, charged blast, maybe. Oh, we see this Li Ming build coming out sometimes, especially against Illidan, because it makes it easier to hit the Q.
You hit him repeatedly anyways, he's in your face.
We even see Fireflies coming out later on because the Q will fly in faster and actually hit Illidan. So that's one of the talent periods coming out from Li Ming, especially when you have Illidan on the other side.
Okay.
He's going all the way in.
Tist needs to be careful about committing that far. Okay, they're going to come in here now. This is a really good setup for Black to fight. Look at the CC here going down into the Twilight Dream. Wiz just barely survives.
Barely, that was
fighting
almost
without
2.
10 though, and it's not going to be enough to save Judy this retreat. He is nearly dead. One more tick of anything kills him. This is exactly how Black wanted to play it. They want to snowball it. And remember, BlossoM needed to snowball this game themselves. They need to crush the early game. They have no range damage, no consistent range damage. I'm not talking about, well, if Lucio's ranged hero, what are you talking about? Tasser's got Psystorm. He's going to get Archon. I'm talking about real ranged assassins. I'm talking about heroes like Hammer, Tychus, Li Ming. They don't have that. They went all in into the Illidan. If they cannot make it work in the early game, the scaling is always going to be against them. Even with Abathur's late game scaling, I just feel like that's not even going to be enough. I'm going to miss a few minions here, but look at the global presence, what that's getting MVP Black right now, as we do see a bunch of Toxic Nest here. This is a greedy boss move, but they have 10. I like this choice. Twilight Dream's down for 30 more seconds. This is going to force a rotation down at the least. They need to get out of here with their lives.
Ooh, Explosion Zone already used. That's not going to be helpful when they want to actually take the boss later on. Zarya is very low at the moment. That's when Wiz decides to go in, but gets rooted right from the beginning.
Yeah, that's a problem. He can't be rooted. He can't be grabbed. Black is just consistently hitting these skill shots and these stuns and roots to knock Wiz out so he can't do this full value damage. They nearly got the pick on the Tist, but now he's back up to full health again. Goja's coming in for a good angle. This boss is getting very, very low. Here's the survivability burrow here. Sound barrier was used by BlossoM. Will Black continue to contest this? This is a huge opportunity for Wiz now to carry this fight. They're going to get the boss no matter what, but will they get more? Looks like just the boss is all they're going to get. Black outplayed there. I think it's because Koja decided to take that gritty left side angle to come in where he took too much damage. Played it greedy, and BlossoM responded really well, despite using the sound barrier there early, despite having no expulsion zone. That worked out very well for the underdogs here.
I think entire team of BlossoM and Gocha expected the rest of Black to actually join the fight, but that didn't happen. They were actually focusing down the boss instead. Wonder what the communication was going on for Black, but even with that, Black still has the soak for global. They are going to lose the bottom temple for now.
Yep, and a keep wall, looks like. So that's minor frustration for Black. There's still a talent tier up. BlossoM is going to need much more than this. If they had gotten a wipe with it, it's a whole different story. They turn it around, they take the lead. Of this, they just close the gap a little bit further. Black is still up a talent tier. They still have the structural lead. This temple is hitting keeps directly, as will all remaining temples for MVP Black. They have the better wave clear. BlossoM is just trying to hang on. It was a big win for them, so that this game didn't snowball out of their hands. But like I said, they need more.
They do need more, and this camp push is very slow, but this is going to work better for Black later on because they have the global, and BlossoM has to make the big rotation all the way up to catch this.
If you race, it's always tough when you have a global hero like Abathur against you. So they do decide to come back. So they have a really strong comp that has Illidan and Zarya for the push. They're just not confident enough to make the trade. It's better for Black in almost every scenario. Big damage going down here for Dudu. Expulsion zone used, so no one can get behind that wall. The wall's very low anyways. Good ice block here from Meriday, and Black turns this fight on its head instantly. Only expulsion zone used, though. They still have a lot of resources. They could commit to the sound barrier and pop back in. I think it might be time. Wiz is going in. Metamorphosis used. He's got the Abathur hat. There's the sound barrier coming down. Tist is trying to do what he can, but he's eating so much damage. Wiz is not able to get the picks he wants, and Reset is continuing the chase.
And there's the chase. Wiz is surviving at the moment, and it looks like Tist is very low. Gyocha getting low. That's the target. But Illidan, Twilight Dream is the target, and there goes Illidan, is the death. No damage coming out from BlossoM anymore.
Okay, Reset. Not able to get too many kills there. He did not get dominance. That was the trade-off, as you were mentioning. He got the marked for his charge blast at level 4 instead. So it's hard for him to kind of carry that fight with Calamity, which is really strong against Illidan, without dominance. So he backs off. They get the kill on the Wiz. They waste Archon, Sound Barrier, and the Metamorphosis, using their own Twilight Dream to do so. This keeps MVP Black even, and essentially no one really got a massive lead either way there. The game continues with the same lead for Black, pushing towards that level 16 talent tier advantage. They have the structure lead. So even though it's kind of an even exchange, minus the Illidan death, Black continues to get ahead as a result. And that's the painful thing here. Wiz diving in now. Wants to take this fight. Reset actually very low.
Does have a lot of mana available, but no dominance will actually make him put into a safer position.
Wiz is going to have to retreat now, though.
As they will soon see Gyocha, or they have been seeing Gyocha pushing the bot lane.
Just going to, with that Merc camp as well, push some pressure onto the keep. The bot keep exposed now, and he can always rush talk in anytime he likes. See this contestation now. Look at the setup for MVP Black. They're just abusing the fact that they have more range, they have more poke. They're very conservative with how they approach this. Just trying to chunk Wiz down from a distance. When he commits in, there's already a setup there. Twilight Dream used very early. There's mines as well. The spider mines are already popped off here. Meriday has to ice block as they retreat back. Gyocha does come in. Remember, the longer this goes on, the better for Black because of the bot pressure with those siege signs. No chat. Diving in here with the clone, doing as much as he can, trying to kill Sake. It will be knocked away, though. And Wiz, super low, looks like Gyocha's going to look for the kill. Nice dodge with the Metamorphosis, but still, they are on the retreat. And at worst, MVP Black will take the temple away.
Yep, basically Wiz, even with that clone, that was not enough damage, and as we expected, Fireflies coming out from Leeming, hit Reset on that Leeming, hits that skill shots onto Illidan. It's not the easiest thing. I'm pretty sure you understand if you tried playing Leeming against Illidan. It's pretty tough to hit all those skill shots, but it is Reset as we talk about the Leeming skill shots. And MVP Black making the rotations work. They are still a talent level up, 2 full levels up.
It's actually really impressive. BlossoM has been able to make this comp work this well. Wiz really showing his prowess on the Illidan. So much support for him. But, essentially this composition tries to reinvent the wheel and say that range is not required. You have another hero that can support the Illidan that's better in this game. That's the idea that BlossoM was putting forward here. He gets grabbed again, though. Sound Barrier has to be used. There's an explosion zone, but I don't know if this is the fight that BlossoM wants to take with it. Kocha does burrow away. Look at all the extra damage Sake puts off for free. A keep is down now for BlossoM. They need something more. They can't just have these even trade fights where they actually take an uneven, heroic trade. Black not using anything in that last fight.
Kocha brush ducks in. They will find Illidan on the other side. Let's see if he can barely
Oh,
gets
look
rooted.
at Root! Oh, the Twilight Dream was available. He hits it. Looking for the pick on the Scarlet now. No chat's even going to go for the clone here. Cloning a Lucio. Not 100% sure about that move.
That's almost just to save him from the danger zone. That's almost like nano boost onto Lucio from Overwatch. So Black with that lead, they're just gonna hit the last 5 shots and even take this camp. It's gonna be 20 hitting for them.
Oh, no chat is in the worst spot possible when that clone expires.
What happened there?
Well, I think he thought he was safe behind the wall. The wall doesn't exist anymore. Ping comes down. Do keeps now for MVP Black. 3 levels ahead. And this is looking to be pretty gnarly.
And looks like they're going for boss. Maybe not, just stalling some time. For now,
they want to have boss and the Giants, it looks like. They want to make sure they have full control. They want Meriday to come back. 20 seconds until Twilight Dream is ready.
And their top lane is still pushing with the camp.
Yep. This is risky for BlossoM because their core is under attack and Abathur's the only one there to defend. Kocha scouts us out, sees they're actually committing. Expulsion zone to try to lock him out, but again, this is not going to control the boss zone because it's used so early. Twilight Dream is up in 4. I don't think BlossoM takes this. By the way, their core is out of shields. They're taking core damage at home. This seems to be a lose-lose situation that BlossoM is forced into now. The boss wasn't that important. There is a keep that's going to stop it in the boss lane. But if they lose their core right now because Black is delaying, if nothing matters, no expulsion zone here this time. Big silence coming off of the Twilight Dream. Sound Barrier comes out, but it's too little too late. The boss will be taken for Black, but will it matter? The core is going down in the background. Wizard's fighting his life. He's fighting for his life. He's fighting his heart out. But even if he wipes here, I don't think it's going to matter. He's trying to kite his way around. Core down to 46 now as a few Swanee minions slow down the push. There's the kill on the Tastar though. Wiz trying to pick off at least 2 more. Does get the kill onto Li Ming.
But even more wave comes in from the mid and looks like the core is about to go down 21.
That is going to be it, man.
15%. Maybe it will be enough. Let's see.
4 more shots is all it takes. 1.
And Murden just, after watching the core health, just runs the core.
The boss is here as well. This doesn't matter. Meriday is even going to try to give up a free kill here. BlossoM won't even take it for their KDAs. MVP Black will take the series 3-0. Defeating an unorthodox Illidan all-in melee composition coming out from BlossoM. Having the awareness, having the experience to deal with such an